Also this week got a Scream Factory's re-release of Day of the Dead on Blu-ray. This has been on Blu-ray a few different times, and I think this is the best it's looked from what I can tell. I never owned the Anchor Bay one, but I've seen some screenshots, and this one looks like the color is a little better, and from what I've read it looks a little better in motion. I think it looks fantastic. You can really see what's going on in the many dark scenes in the tunnels, and the daylight scenes just look phenomenal. The film itself, the original Dead trilogy from George Romero, is it's a classic trilogy. It's not my favorite horror films, but they're I like them a lot. Day of the Dead used to be my favorite. I sort of switched between Day and Dawn, but actually, Night of the Living Dead is great as well. Watching it this time, hadn't seen it in a few years. I was astounded how great it looked because I'd always seen it on crappy VHS as a kid. But this looked great. The acting, which I remember just being pretty atrocious, didn't seem as bad, but I think that could be because the sound mix was so much better on this than when I'd seen it before. The sound mix always sounded like it was completely recorded at a different level from everything else in the background. When I would listen, it would make everything seem really fake what the actors were saying. But the acting is still not good, don't get me wrong. And there's some severe pacing issues in this film. But the last half an hour it goes batshit, and the effects are amazing, and it's a real good time to be had. I do have the others on Blu-ray. I have this, which I believe is the best Night of the Living Dead edition to get. It doesn't have a lot of special effects, but it's this UK edition just has a George Romero documentary and no commentaries like some of the others, but it does look fantastic. And framing's been pushed in a little bit on some scenes, and other scenes look the same as other ones that have come out, so I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's to get around some print damage, I'm not really sure, but on the most part this is the best I've ever seen Night of the Living Dead look. I also got Dawn of the Dead. This is not as good as the Arrow one, but to buy the Arrow one is very expensive. The Arrow UK Blu-ray, which is now out of print, which has all three versions of the film but only one in high def. This is coming out in Japan later in the year with all three versions of the film in high def. This is just the standard theatrical cut, the most popular cut I would say, and it has a ton of special features, and this is the Australasian release. It doesn't look anywhere near as good as the Day of the Dead, and I fear that there could be I got this really cheap, but it could be a rebuy down the track if this Japanese release comes down in price later on, or I manage to get a cheaper copy of the or they re-release the UK Arrow version. But it's good enough for now. So this has this customized artwork cover Scream Factory are known for. It's so it's got the same cover inside. I'm probably going to have to change this around to the original artwork because I don't see the point in taking off the sleeve only to have the same artwork in there. So let me do that now. I'll show you it's got the original artwork, which I think is always really cool. This one in particular says, first there was Night of the Living Dead, then there was the Dawn of the Dead, and now the darkest day of horror the world has ever known, George Romero's Day of the Dead. So just do that now. So there we have it. And this has some great special features from Scream Factory. They've taken some of the special features from the previous Anchor Bay release, which is probably the next best release after this one, and certainly much better than the UK release, which is a bit of a travesty. But we have a new high-definition transfer, a new documentary, World's End, The Legacy of Day of the Dead. I haven't had a chance to watch that part yet. Apparently it's excellent. It's a full-length documentary, so really gone to town with a really good extra there from Scream Factory. An audio commentary with writer-director George Romero and special makeup effects artist Tom Savini and production designer Cletus Anderson and actress Laurie Cardille, I don't know how that's pronounced, and which is a commentary that's previously released. And there's also a commentary with, it's not mentioned on here, but I'm sure there's a commentary with the director Roger Avary, who's a super fan of this film. So maybe they had this all printed up before they had confirmed that. Behind-the-scenes footage and special makeup effects from Tom Savini's archives, photo galleries, theatrical trailers, TV spots, and more. So a really good pickup. This is, if you're going to own one for Day of the Dead, I I recommend this one.